President Uhuru Kenyatta has finally convened Jubilee Parliamentary Group meeting. That meeting will be held at Statehouse from exactly 8:30 a.m. The meeting has been announced, surprisingly, by David Murathe. And I've been asking myself, why would the president convene this meeting at this particular point in time when the country is facing a major crisis? Because we all know that from 2017 up to now, Jubilee Party has never held the parliamentary group meeting. The first time they came close to holding this meeting was in 2018, around April, a few days after the handshake. But that meeting never took place. Then again, even last year, this meeting was planned, but it didn't happen. In February, again, the president announced through Rafael Tuju that he was convening this meeting. Again, that meeting did not take place. The only meeting which took place was a parliamentary group meeting of members of parliament allied to the deputy president who convened in Naivasha. But again, that meeting never qualified as a PG because it brought together everybody who was supporting the deputy president, regardless of their political party. So that was the only close time Jubilee came to organizing or to holding parliamentary group meeting. So, but why would the president convene that meeting right now? Probably the president has certain issues which he wants to address. And two things are clear for those who follow politics very closely. Number one, the mere fact that the person convening this meeting, the person given the task of mobilizing members of parliament, is David Murathe. What does that tell you about the expected outcome of this meeting? So that's number one. Number two is a post which was made by Dennis Itumbi. Of late, I consider Dennis Itumbi as the spokesperson of William Ruto. Let me read for you, or let me take you through what Dennis Itumbi posted earlier today. He made this post before this announcement about a parliamentary group meeting tomorrow emerged. This is what Dennis Itumbi posted. The Gigiri Dark Politics Operations Office. So he's revealing there's an operation office somewhere. There's an operation office in Gigiri, and is calling it Gigiri Dark Politics Operation Office. Has been calling Kileweke senators for a meeting on 11th May in Statehouse to plan the removal of Senator Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen as the majority leader and Susan Kihika as the whip. Are you getting that? So Dennis Itumbi is alleging that these guys have been meeting Kileweke senators. Now he's continuing. The idea is to replace them with Pogisho. Pogisho, I think, is the member of parliament, the senator for, is a Jubilee senator, and Senator Sakaja. Hope you are understanding, you are following closely. Now, as per the Senate standing order, there must be the following. So it will be suggesting that for those changes to be effected by law, a parliamentary group meeting must be held. And he's saying, he's now continuing, number one, a proper Senate PG must be called formally with the notice being given to every senator with the agenda being circulated. So if this meeting is about what Itumbi is alluding here, so probably all the senators have received their notice of this meeting. Number two, the Jubilee team is composed of 35 senators. That's Jubilee senators. There's 34 senators and one PDR. PDR, I don't know which party, has one coalition with PDR. PDR, could that be Kanu? But Kanu has two senators. There's Senator Gideon Moi and there's Senator Pogisho. I'm not sure. I don't understand what PDR mean. But from those 2 points, the mere fact that the meeting is being convened or the person tasked with mobilizing these members of parliament is the Jubilee Vice Chair, David Murathe, and then Dennis Otumbi also made that post, can point to us what we can expect out of this meeting. But I wanted to ask you a question. Why do you think the president is convening this meeting? Is he conceding to the pressure from the allies of the deputy president? Or is it that the president now wants to take charge and take leadership of Jubilee Party, both outside the house and inside the house? If you're bumping on this video for the first time, please take a second, hit the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, you'll get notified. Now back to the main issue. What do you think is likely to come out of this meeting? If this meeting is going to be convened tomorrow, and I want to ask you a very simple question. Do you think someone like Ndinti Nyoro, Moses Kuria, Susan Kihika, Wambugu, Kimani Ngunjiri, do you think those people will be allowed into this meeting? Do you think the president will allow them to get into Statehouse, and then the president sits somewhere there as he chairs the meeting, and then Moses Kuria is seated there raising his hands to talk? Do you think it's going to be possible? So in my view, these are what I expect out of that meeting. Number one, I am sure that the agenda of this meeting is going to be about the leadership of both houses, both at the Senate and the National Assembly. There's been talks for a very long time that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been planning to replace the leadership of those houses. Kipchumba Murkomen is the majority leader at the Senate. Aden Duale is the majority leader at the National Assembly. Those two guys are allies of the deputy president. The majority whip at the Senate is Susan Kihika. The majority whip at the National Assembly is Ben Washiali. Again, allies of the deputy president. That tells you something. That the deputy president was ahead of the president when these committees and the leadership were being decided. Because by that time, they had just won the elections and they were dynamic duos. But can he succeed in removing these guys? I don't know what the law says, whether the president, as the party leader of Jubilee, can just use a paper and a pen to kick out these gentlemen. I am sure, and this I can predict here, if that is going to be the agenda of this meeting, then I'm sure Kipchumba Murkomen is going to be kicked out. I am sure Susan Kihika is going to be kicked out. And I'm also sure that Aden Duale is not going to be kicked out. Because so far, Aden Duale has not expressed his disrespect towards the president. He's just been playing politics. But he has not disrespected the president. I am sure Ben Washiali might also be spared. But I'm looking at what Itumbi was sharing. Why would Pogisho be elevated? And why would Sakaja also be elevated? That's deep politics. If it will happen, that's the next video I'm going to analyze immediately after that meeting. So probably we must expect change in Jubilee Party, especially change in Jubilee leadership at the National Assembly, at the Senate. The second thing we must expect is that the president is likely going to stamp his authority as the party leader of Jubilee Party. Currently in Jubilee Party, there's no order. I want to give you an example of ODM Party. When ODM Party agreed, people are actually dismissing ODM Party, but when ODM Party agreed that they were going to support Sam Mungeri as the chair of the PAC, County Public Accounts and Investment Committee, Ole Kina teamed up with the allies of the deputy president and he defeated the party candidate. But the party has stood its ground. And Olekina is currently lost both the chairmanship of PAC and also lost being a member of the House Business Committee, another powerful committee. So that tells you that in ODM, at least they respect the leadership and at least they use the right channels. But in Jubilee Party, everybody can wake up and issue their own directives. Take, for example, Jubilee leadership. The secretary writes a letter. The next day, the deputy secretary general writes another letter. What's that? Can only happen in Jubilee. So I'm sure the president is going to stamp his authority. Number 3, I expect the president to read the Riot Act on errand members. Jubilee, as things stand today, has only one party leader. That's President Uhuru Kenyatta. So when the leadership, when the leaders elected on Jubilee Party are the ones expressing disrespect to the president and to the party leader, what do you expect the party leader to do? In my view, I expect Jubilee Party and the president to read the Riot Act to several members. Someone like Kimani Ngunjiri, Moses Kuria, Susan Kihika, Ndindi Nyoro, and many more, many others. Alice Wahome, that lot, the president, I'm sure, even if this meeting was going to be for resolving any other thing, but these guys are ultimately going to feel the wrath of the president. So that's something I'm also sure is going to happen. Number three, the third thing which I expect to happen in this meeting is that the president is going to confirm the changes of the officials of Jubilee Party. For those who've been following Jubilee Party, the president has been effecting certain changes at the National Management Committee of Jubilee Party. And these changes were actually resisted by the allies of the deputy president. But finally, despite their resistance, despite writing several protest notes, President Uhuru Kenyatta, through Rafael Tuju, still went and confirmed these names as the official names of the party to the register of political parties. So I'm sure, because these guys protested, the president is calling them. And the president is going to tell them, these are the new members of the National Management Committee. That's something which I hope and I believe is going to happen there. The president basically is going to ratify, is going to confirm to them that the changes which were being proposed are the officials of the party. And again, the president has already told them that even David Murade is an official of this party, and there's nothing you can do about it. And lastly, and this is very remote, is that the president might have convened this meeting to call for a truce between the allies of the deputy president and his allies. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. In politics, you don't rule out anything. But one thing I can assure you is that the division in Jubilee as a political party, as we speak today, is so deep that for it to be solved, or for a truce to happen, the president and the DP must sit alone together and discuss how they are going to move forward. And then after that, the DP will have to go to his troops and tame them. Then the president also going to his troop and then taming them. Before that, I am sure there's no truce which is likely to happen in Jubilee Party. But I also want to believe that the president, being the president of the Republic of Kenya and also coming from Jubilee Party, he might want to have a meeting in Jubilee Party and call the Jubilee House to order. Because it's also very shameful that a president is actually controlling a political party which he doesn't control in the first place. He can't lead Jubilee Party, but he's also the president of the Republic of Kenya. So I think the president is likely to call for a truce. But that one, I'm giving it like 10% only. I want to believe, in conclusion, that the main purpose of this meeting is to kick out Susan Kehika and to kick out Kipchumba Murkomen out of the Jubilee parliamentary leadership. I don't know what you think. And if you're bumping again on this video for the first time, just kindly do me a favor, just hit the subscribe button now, so that next time we produce a video like this one, you don't get you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. It's been amazing. And for those who keep on checking www.vuguvugu.com, I want to appreciate you so much. The channel is doing fine, and I think the updates are also have started coming fast and furious. Any news, you'll always get there. So if you've not visited that website, you can take your time and go and check our blog, which is www.vuguvugu.com. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.